Hey guys, welcome back to the Long Drive. I am Logan. Today we're starting out with a snack. We are a little hungry. Yeah, okay, we'll just go in the back. So we are a little, well, hang on. Actually, no. We're going to close this. We're going to open this. And we're going to eat this sausage. Yep, just like that. And there we go. Alright, so we're a little thirsty. Not too bad. Alright. So let's hop back. Oh, we got some poops. Okay, let's get these out of the car. We do not want to be sitting on those while we drive. And there we go. Alright, so we are at 000 on the odometer. Let's get at it, guys. So we have been making good progress. We are at 4,252 kilometers. That's right. 4,252. We are closing in, my friends. I can taste it. I can taste the end of the road. So now, a long time ago, I did a What's Beyond the End of the Road episode. And we did like 50, 60 kilometers, something like that, just driving past the end of the road. There's nothing out there. Who knows if that has changed? I don't. It probably hasn't. There is a gas station, a small one. But considering we don't really need anything, there's a bus, a couple of cars, looked like maybe a Beetleborg. Really could not tell as we were driving by so quickly. But that's fine. We do not need to stop. We've only got 2 kilometers on the odometer so far, and we need to boogie. So yes, let's get at it, my friends. Last time we did 100 kilometers. That's right, 100 kilometers, one sitting, good times. I started another single player playthrough, and it has been a bit of a slog. I've only done about 100 kilometers in it, but I ran out of gas very quickly. So in turn, I ended up having to push. I got another van in it. It's solid white. Got another van, and I ended up having to push it for about 2 kilometers till I came across a diner. Came across the diner and was able to get some fuel, get up the road a little ways, found a container ship, and with that container ship, I was able to get a full tank of gas and an extra 30, 40 liters. So that run is actually looking pretty good right now. Still need to clean the tires up on it, but it's looking pretty good overall. Oh, so fall is in full effect here in my area. I don't know about you guys. Hopefully it is for you. But it has been in full effect here. Nice, cool, crisp days. Sunny, some clouds, of course. Low humidity. It has been wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Like I've said before, if I could, I would inject fall directly into my veins and keep that feeling all year long. Oh, so we are cruising along. We are taking a bunch of shortcuts just to try to skim off as much driving as possible. Not that this is really going to cut off a lot, like I've said before. It's fractions of a kilometer each time we cut a corner, but over time, those fractions add up. Just like if you took a penny. Every time you get pennies back, assuming you live somewhere that uses pennies like we do in the US, maybe you're Canadian, they don't use pennies. Honestly, I think we should get rid of pennies and just round everything down to the nearest 5 cents. And I will always say down. It should never cost you more money because we got rid of pennies. So if you get something that's $2.99, that should round down to $2.95. And if they want to complain about it, take it out of the tax. State or federal, whatever. But it should not cost you more money to buy something because we got rid of pennies. Same with dollar bills. If we got rid of dollar bills, everything should be rounded down to the nearest 5. Which, the way inflation's going, we might have to just start lopping zeros off the end of things anyway. Just so that $10 bill actually gets you $10 worth of stuff, not 1. Oh, goody, goody, goody. Alright, so look at that. We've already pushed through 10 kilometers. Not bad at all. It's only been about 5 minutes. So not shabby, and that's even with us getting a little bit of a slow start considering we started out by eating. We didn't jump straight into driving. Avoid this rock. There we go. So, there being spooky season, some new stuff has dropped. Hulu and I think Disney Plus, it might be on both, I don't know, has dropped the new Goosebumps series. I've only seen the first episode. It was fine. Um, it's interesting so far how they're doing it, because apparently they've taken all like classic Goosebumps stories and they're working that into one like 5 or 6 episode long story arc, which I've complained before about that. You guys know how I feel on season long story arcs. But it's got Justin Long. Honestly, when I saw Justin Long, I was sold anyway. I would have watched it just because it's Goosebumps. I mean, if you were like me, you grew up reading Goosebumps, loving Goosebumps, and that kind of stuff. Honestly, that's probably what kickstarted my love of horror, was Goosebumps. Or did I already love horror and just fell into Goosebumps because of it? Huh. That might be something I talk to my mom about next time I see her. Just be like, hey, was I into spooky and horror stuff before or after reading Goosebumps? That's a good question. I really don't know. But it's out. I've only seen the first episode, so I got some more of those to watch. It was fine. I mean, if you enjoyed Goosebumps, if you like Justin Long, give it a watch. The other big thing that dropped was the Fall of the House of Usher, based off of like the Poe stories. Saw the first episode of it as well. Interesting start. Don't really know where it's going to go from here, but definitely looking forward to seeing it and seeing what they do. Oh, here's a big tanker. We blow by it. Didn't see any zombies, but we were going $1.50. So yeah, not surprised. We did not see any zombies right there. Whew. Alright, come on, there we go. Nope, there we go. There we go. Okay. We're good. Alright, so I did remember to put a spoiler warning on the Nun 2 discussion. Hopefully that helped some of you. If you had not seen the movie, if it's not of interest to you, the spoiler alerts kind of helped. If not, sorry. I really don't know what else to do. I know spoilers aren't... Some people love spoilers. They don't care. They want to know what's coming. My girlfriend is that way. We will start a show or a movie, and she wants to know everything right then. So if it's a big mystery, she might get on Wikipedia or Amazon, sheesh, Google, whatever, just so she can look up who the bad guy is or the big reveal that they're teasing, just so she knows who it is and can try to piece that together. I'm the opposite. I do not want to know. If something gets spoiled for me, I figure why even watch it? If I know what's going to happen. But then again, I rewatch things, I replay games. I've beaten this game 3 times already, but I replay it. I know how it's going to end. I know what happens along the way. The only thing that really changes is the scenery and how you get there. But I watch movies over and over because I enjoy them. It's the same story, the exact same way. So I guess what's the difference between watching something and enjoying it spoiler free, then going back, rewatching it later with, the knowledge of what happens, versus watching it the first time and knowing? I really don't know. I cannot answer that now that I think about it. Which is an interesting... I think that's interesting, right? Like, I really don't want spoilers. I don't want to know what's going to happen in a game or how a show or movie is going to turn out if I've not seen it. But I can watch something and go back and watch it again and still very much enjoy it. Maybe even more than the first time. So does knowledge of what's going to happen really reduce your enjoyment? Huh. I don't know. I really don't have an answer to that. And whoop, big rock. And we spun out because I overcorrected. It's okay. We're good. We just lost some speed. Yeah, we're fine. We don't have a lot of traction when we're on dirt, but it's okay. And off we go. Oh, perfection. Alright. Shoo. Lord have mercy. The road is up ahead. We're not doing too bad. Not too bad at all. So one thing I've noticed when I'm editing these videos, it's actually kind of funny. I tend to make like little mental notes or just physical notes of things if I need to. If I get a call, I need to trim a section out because it's just dead air or whatever. If I have to pause and cough, sneeze, something like that, I will make a little note of when that was. And because generally I play this game in first person 99% of the time, it's always funny because I'm skimming through the video footage to, edit things, cut things out, whatever. And so it's always funny because it's almost like a time lapse from the editing perspective because I'm skimming through, and it's not like it's just playing double speed. It's just showing like frame, whatever. So it's almost like I'm watching a little time lapse of somebody actually doing this drive. If you've ever recorded yourself driving in a time lapse, you know what I'm talking about. It's super cool. If you haven't, try it. Like if you have a GoPro or if you have a phone capable of doing time lapse, safely put it in your window, start a time lapse, drive to your destination, and then watch the video back. You can watch like a 30-minute drive in 2 minutes. Really cool. Back when I had my Jeep Wrangler, I did that. I stuck it up in the window and drove myself driving from where I lived at the time across the state line to the other side of town and going to eat. Super cool just being able to watch that drive all the way through and just go back and revisit it. Might start doing that again just because it is fun. Take the GoPro, fire it up, record a time lapse of driving. Be kind of neat. I did put a dash cam in my truck, finally. I had one in the Jeep for a little bit, but it was just a really cheap one. I think it's like a $20 one. Didn't work the best. The video quality was bad. So this one was a good amount more. I think it was like 70, 80 bucks. So I mean, still not a $250 dash cam, but it does claim to record in 4K. The video quality looks fine. Came with a nice long cable. So far I'm okay with it. I haven't needed to pull the footage yet. But it's just one of those things that's kind of like, it's nice to have. It comes on when I start the truck. So it's just kind of sitting there and recording, and I think it's like 10-minute increments. So as long as like if something does happen, I lock that recording within the 10-minute window, it's fine. And it should have I think it's like a G-force accelerometer, so like if it detects something, it should automatically save that recording, which I think you want anyway. But yeah, I've got that now, so that's going to be nice, just in case you ever need it. When that police cruiser pulled out in front of me a few years ago and I totaled it, it would have been so great to have a video of that cop car just pulling out in front of me and me totaling a cop cruiser. Just for the novelty of it, because, I mean, A, how often do you see cops get involved in wrecks like that anyway? And B, just to be the one that was actually driving when it happened. Although it was not fun at the time, it's kind of funny to look back now. Oh, lordy. But it happened. It's life. Apparently that same weekend, 2 other cops, there were 3 officer-involved collisions the same weekend in town. And so it prompted this big, like, there's a news article about it and all kinds of stuff. 2 of them, the police were found at fault. The 3rd one, the officer was not found at fault. However, I have it on good authority from within the department that he was actually at fault. He ended up, I think it was like sideswiping a guy. But he was able to say that he was not at fault, that the other driver was, because at the time, the other driver was technically impaired. I think he was inebriated or on pain meds, something, I don't recall. He was technically inebriated and was driving under the influence. So they put it on him, even though I want to say what happened was the cop had changed lanes, didn't look, and drove into that guy, like just bumped him on the side. But because the other driver was driving under the influence, they said the officer was not at fault, it was the other driver. So I thought that was rather interesting. Ooh, it's dark without our headlights. I kind of just wanted to see what that looked like. I don't like it though. But yeah, it was like 3 officer involved collisions in one weekend. Don't know if anything ever came of it. I know the one that pulled out in front of me that I hit, he said, oh yeah, like this is my 3rd or 4th on-duty traffic incident, and I'm probably going to get fired. And because it was a city police officer that I hit, they needed a neutral party, so the sheriff's department came out and worked the wreck. So the sheriff's department They were talking about, they're like, yeah, if that was his like third or fourth, especially in such a short time frame, I think it's like 1 year. They're like, he is probably going to be fired on Monday because this, I think, was a Saturday. And so they're like, yeah, he's probably going to get fired. But they did also say that if he shows up at the sheriff's department and asks for a job, they will pretty much hire him on the spot, which is a whole nother host of issues, in my opinion, that I'm not going to get into. But it was rather interesting. Oh, let's see how this goes. We're going full speed through the desert, off the road, sleep driving. Oh, that was good. When we passed by that one rock, I thought for sure we were going to plow into one. Man, that was good. Ooh, we just slept through the night, going 150 kilometers an hour the whole time. That was great. Probably could not do it again if we tried. We could probably try to angle between rocks and still hit one if we were to do that again. Alright, so we still got a bunch of nice flat open area ahead of us, which is fantastic. Cannot beat that. That allows us to keep our speed up and be relatively safe. We are making good time. We're 40 kilometers in and it's only been about 15 minutes, which is about what I would expect because it takes about 45 minutes, I think, to do a full 100 kilometers going at maximum speed like this. Now, the sad thing is we are running low on fuel. We are in the red, which means we are at some point going to have to stop, fill up the tank again. But the fact that we've went a couple 100 kilometers on a tank of fuel, going full speed the whole way, is that's pretty dope, actually. So I think I'm okay with it. We'll just kind of run until the fuel empties out. We'll screech to a stop, and then we will fill up and get back on the road. I'm starting to get a little concerned about our fuel levels, simply because we've got the 55-gallon drum. I don't know how much is in it. And then we've got, I think, like 60 liters of reserve in jerry cans. Which you think, oh man, that's a great amount of fuel. Why would you be concerned? Well, the problem, we've still got, I said, what, 2,252 when we started? So we still have like 750 kilometers. If we're going through a tank of fuel every couple 150, we might be pushing it on fuel. It depends on how much is in that big barrel and exactly how much we have in reserve. So I know this black tank up here is full. It is completely full of fuel, and I think it's 30 some liters. So that's close to a full tank. And then we should have about 3 full tanks of fuel on us. So I think we're going to be okay. The fuel light is very clearly on, as you can see at the bottom right below the steering wheel. I did turn off head bob while driving, so I can't lean forward and show you. But you can see right there, the fuel light is indeed on. And there we go, so it shows us in reserve for our fuel. I think we're going to make it, but I think it will be tight. So what that does leave me concerned about is us like coasting to the end of the road with no fuel and not having stopped for a good while before the end of the road, which in turn means we finish the trip, we're out of fuel, and if we decide we do want to do a return trip, well, guess what? We have no fuel to get back. So that is a concern that I now have. So we might, when we run out of fuel, we'll stop and we'll do a quick survey of what we do have. Just to be safe, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm trying to decide if I want to use the fuel off the top in the black fuel can or fuel tank, or if I want to start going through the jerry cans and the 55-gallon drum. We'll start with the drum. We'll see what's in it. I honestly don't remember. Yeah, I'm trying to think of how much fuel was in it, and I really do not know. So we're pushing 50k. There's 50k at about 21 minutes. So that's about 42. So yeah, about 45 minutes for a full 100 kilometers at max speed with no wrecks. I am, however, very, very concerned right now about the fuel. I wasn't at first, but I am now. I am actually very concerned. So now one thing we could do is we could get up to speed, we could set the odometer to 0 with a full tank of gas. Well, we couldn't really do that. We could guesstimate, like we could fill up the gas tank, go say 5 kilometers, see how much fuel we used, and extrapolate what we think a full tank of gas would get us. Now we'll probably use more fuel getting up to speed than staying at speed, especially the way I just floor it and shoot the RPMs through the roof. But it's fine, it should be a fairly accurate assessment. Ooh, I'm still a little paranoid though. And that's going to eat into how much driving we can get done per episode. Because that means we're going to have to stop, do a little bit of experimenting. That's going to take a little bit of time, just a couple of minutes, but a little bit of time. And then, of course, if we do have to stop and search a couple of fuel tankers or cargo ships, that is extra time that we are not on the road at full speed making progress. Which, I mean, is fine. We've said before, we're not in a rush to finish the game. It's not something that we are in a super big hurry to try and figure out. We'll figure out to finish. So that's not a big deal. But with us being so close, that, like I said, those last 750-ish kilometers, I would really like to try to just get there within the next few weeks. Which, if we're able to do about 100 kilometers a week, we should be wrapping up around Christmas, which would put us at about 2.5 years of playing this same save. Which is kind of insane if you think about it. 2.5 years to finish this game. That's crazy. Now granted, I mean, we're artificially limiting some stuff. Like, I'm not just getting on here and playing when I want to. I'm not just sitting here mindlessly watching YouTube or movies and just driving in a straight line for hours at a time when I have some downtime. So we have artificially inflated the amount of time that it's taken to play this game. But that's fine, it's not like it matters. I've enjoyed doing it, and I've learned a lot about the game, about editing videos, about creating videos, about uploading them to YouTube, and all that within these last 2.5 years. And I've said it before, I really appreciate those of you that have been with me since the beginning, that have hung out with me, that chat with me in the comments, you know, tell me your anecdotes, tell me your stories about the game, things that I've missed. I always enjoy getting back on. I usually upload Saturday morning, and I'll check back on Sunday or Monday to see, you know, if anybody's commented, things like that. And I always try to write back and respond, let you guys know that I have seen them, communicate with you, because that is what I'm trying to build here, is like a little small community. You know, we're not trying to be PewDiePie or nothing like that. You know, we're not trying to have millions and millions of subscribers, but, you know, a few hundred of you guys hanging out with me, checking out these videos weekly, I appreciate it. I like hanging out with you guys, talking to you guys, and hopefully you enjoy following along on the trip. You know, maybe you've been interested in the game, but you don't know if it's worth your money. It's not super expensive, but I know for everybody, $10 is... Oh, there goes the fuel. $10 for everybody, or 20 is a completely different situation. For some of us, $10 is nothing. For others of us, $10 is the difference between whether you eat for the rest of the week and not. So, I know it is not the same for everybody. And maybe you want the game and you just can't afford it. You're trying to decide if the cost of the game is worth it. I get that. So, regardless of why you're here, why you're hanging out, I appreciate it. Alright, so, oh, that is a full 42 liters. I think that's what this thing takes. Oh, empty. Come on, autosave. Alright, your water, what are you? Are you empty? Oh, yeah, you are empty. Okay. Well, that's not good. Alright, so that guy's empty. Then we've got, that's oil, 20, 40, 60. We have 102 liters of fuel. I want to say this thing has a 40-some liter tank. Is that right? Yeah. Alright, so this can is exactly... Well, this tank is exactly one tank of fuel. Whew. Alright. So that means we'll have one full tank of fuel. We'll have another in reserve with an extra 18 liters. So we have less than 2.5 tanks of fuel on board. Whew. So I want to say this got us about 200. Let's call it 225. Split the difference between 2 and 250. So one tank of fuel got us a 225. That's 450. That's 700 with what we have on board. I don't think we're going to make it. I do not think we are going to have enough fuel to get us to the end. That's a little concerning, actually. I thought we were good because we had a ton of fuel on board with us. But now that we are getting closer, we know how far we are from the edge. Roundabout. I am actually getting a little concerned. Okay, well, okay. Yeah, I'm actually starting to get a little concerned about our fuel levels. Like I said, we have about 2.5 tanks of fuel, a little bit less. And that should get us somewhere around 7 to 750-ish kilometers. Which does put us right at the end of the road, somewhere thereabouts, depending on how much we've added and trimmed off. Huh. Yeah, that is actually, the more I think about it, the more concerned I get. We might have to detour if we see a big ship and see about getting us some fuel. Okay, we'll see. Let's say we started at 920. Yeah, let's call it 920. And we will see how far this tank of gas gets us. So 920. I need to remember that. I'll probably write that down, actually. So give me just a second. Let me write that down while I'm thinking about it. I'm not really going to write it down. I've got a laptop sitting here next to me. I'm just going to make a note. And I'm just going to call it 920. Okay. So 920 full tank of fuel. Alright, we'll see how that gets us. Van Helsing is substantially lighter in the front now that we've taken that fuel off. Oh, yeah, the more I think about this, the more concerned I get. Because I really just do not know how close we're going to get or if we're going to run out of fuel. Huh. Okay, well. So we started at 920. We've already went 24. Or 4. So if we can do, say, well, we'll get it to 100 today. Because we're 33 kilometers out from that. So let's see. If we can do that, we'll kind of do a quick check on how far we've went. And then how much fuel we've used. And we should be able to get some sort of baseline approximation for our fuel consumption. That's still a little concerning. yeah, I really don't know that we are going to make it. Ooh. So yeah, make sure if you see a ship on the horizon that you're yelling at me to go check it out. Hopefully it'll be kind of like a spirit bomb in Dragon Ball. Everybody screaming, go check that ship for fuel. I'll be able to hear it and feel it, and we will find a lot of fuel in there that guarantees we make it to the end of the road and back. I think fuel on the return trip is going to be my biggest concern. Now, that being said, we did think about swapping to a big truck, which would be kind of cool, but it was 100 and some kilometers back, I think, so we'd still have to do like 8, 9, 1,000 kilometers just to get back to that truck, which means we'd have to get the diesel and carry it with us. But if we swap to a diesel vehicle, we haven't really used diesel throughout the playthrough, so all the diesel that spawned in should still be kind of laying around and available to us. So I think that might be the way to go. I'm not entirely sure though. Okay, I need to stop worrying about fuel. There's not much I can really do about it. Alright, so the road curves this way, so we're going to cut some off and go across here. Huh. So I got some new computer speakers that I've been meaning to hook up. They're better than what I've got, which honestly, surprisingly, all things considered, I have some really crappy PC speakers. I have a nice like surround sound set of PC speakers. I just never hooked them up because I don't want to run the speaker wire and hang them and all that jazz. It has like a nice subwoofer, has like four satellites, so it's kind of like a 4.1 channel surround sound PC setup, but it's just big and bulky and I never really wanted to run the wires, so I didn't. Kind of the same thing with my home theater though. I put the soundbar and the subwoofer on, and the satellites are sitting there unhooked just because I don't want to spend the time or the effort to run the speaker wire and mount those speakers. I just haven't wanted to do it. And my living room now, the layout isn't super conducive to surround sound because the home I bought is a open floor plan, which, yeah, open floor plan was all the rage. I don't know if it still is in modern architecture, but during the time this house was built in the mid-late 90s, it was all about that open architecture floor plan stuff. Not really my kind of thing, but you know, it's what I bought. So I just haven't wanted to fool with it. Another downside of that is when I moved in, so like my apartment of course wasn't open floor plan, which meant there was a lot more walls. Having a lot more walls, a lot more wall space. So I move in here and I feel like I have very little wall space for things. So like pictures and documents and things that I had hanging up in the apartment in one place or another, I just don't have room for now. Simply because there's not as much wall space, oddly enough. But, you know, it happens. It is what it is. I'm making do. I'm trying to just... Everything's moved in and I'm comfortable. I'm still just organizing and getting things to a place that I wanted and I'm really happy with. Because, like, my mom, me and my dad are the same way. Mom's the complete opposite. Dad and I, we will set up a room the way we like it. We won't touch it for 20 years. Mom, on the other hand, will set up a room. Even if she loves it, she gets bored with it. 3 to 6 months later, it's been completely rearranged. That's just how she is. My girlfriend's kind of the same way. We've already rearranged the living room twice, just since I've been here for the last 6 or 7 months. And the living room's already been rearranged twice. Now, one thing we can't really do, I mounted the TV. It's big, it's bulky, it's heavy. The stand for it, of course, has to support that. It's drilled right into studs, so it can support all of that weight. So the TV's not going anywhere. And so the living room, of course, unless you just don't have a TV, is always centered around the television. So that kind of limits me right now to what I can do, but that's all fine and dandy. Oh. I'm trying to distract myself with talks of the TV in the living room, but the back of my head is still just saying there's not enough fuel, and I really don't know if there is or not. Hopefully we're not missing out on any ships by driving through the night. If we do, that's a bummer. Hopefully we come across another one, because I really do not want to miss out on a cargo ship that might have 30, 50, 100 liters of fuel in it just because we are driving through the night. Although we're still making good progress, even having to eat at the beginning and running out of fuel, we are still making good progress, as we are 83.5 kilometers in, so 15-ish left, 16, not bad at all, and we've only been going for about 37 minutes. So full speed the whole time, we can clear 100 kilometers in about 40 to 45 minutes, which is what we were expecting. I think we hit 50 at 21. So in theory, another 5 minutes or so should get us roundabout to the end. Well, the end of today's drive, not the end of the road, of course. We still have, let's see, what did I say, 750, so this should get us up to about 650 kilometers today. There we go. Well, 650 till the end, not completed, of course. We're way beyond 650 kilometers completed. It feels good, though. I'm enjoying these long, non-exploratory drives. It just feels like we're getting so much more accomplished, because we're not building out a vehicle right now, so we're not scavenging for parts. We have food, we have water, so we're not scavenging for food to stay alive. Actually, how are we doing on... Oh, we are hungry again. But, you know, we're not scavenging for food and water all the time. We, at current, are not scavenging for gas, though we may be soon. Since... Oh, Beetleborg. Since we're not having to stop all the time, we would just be exploring and seeing what was there. So I enjoy these long drive episodes where we just get to do that. We just get to drive for a long time and make up a lot of distance. Especially there a few weeks, it felt like we went maybe 50 kilometers total over about a month. So that really added onto the length of time that it's taken us to do this. Oh, here we go, boys, here we go. We're rolling into the last 10 kilometers. Night is well and truly underway. We are hungry, we're thirsty. We will probably stop and eat at the end of this episode and drink, just so we are well and satiated. That should help with our health as well. Bring that back up a little bit. So we are going downhill now. Our little bubble level shows us as much, and we can just kind of tell from the way the lights are disappearing. So that's going to help. We're actually going to get a little bit of extra speed right here. As long as no rocks pop in front of us, we're going to be going nice and fast downhill for a moment or two. Which, if we're downhill, we might push past the 100 kilometer mark, just so we get all the benefit of the extra speed. Because let's see, if that's 10, that's probably another, say what, 20 kilometers an hour over 150. So we're probably pushing about 170 right now, which is really helping us push through these last few Ks. So we have already done 3 of the 10. That's a diner. It's odd that the diner's on this side of the road. Jeez. Okay. Ow. Ow. Well, that was some bull crap. Jeez. Okay, autosave, come on. Okay, I'm not seeing any zombies at the moment. Alright, well that was bogus. Absolutely bogus. That thing just spawned in out of nowhere. Ooh, I thought I saw a zombie, but it was just a bat. Okay. I need to get out of here relatively quickly. Why is there a wheel in the front seat? There's not. Okay, okay, engine's still running. I thought it had been dislodged. Okay, that's Sophia. Wasn't Sophia hanging onto a mirror? Okay, let's reattach Sophia. There you go. Oh, nope, that was a different one. Okay, bye-bye. Okay, did we lose anything else? Yes, we lost the wheel. Where's it at? Oh no. Guys, where's our tire? Oh no. We've lost an entire wheel. Oh, there's our speedometer. Well, that's not good. Okay, where is it? I mean, maybe there's one in here, but I'm not really feeling like pulling any zombies. Although at the moment, I don't see any. Well, this took a sharp turn into not great land. There's a bicycle. There's a tire, but no wheel. Okay, so here's a pupper to finish the ride with us. Okay. Alright, oh, there is a wheel. Okay. It is a horrible wheel. But there's usually a scrub brush, but that doesn't really matter because the tire is clean. Come on, stop autosaving. There we go. Okay, well, I am truly stumped as to where our wheel went. Yeah, I legitimately do not have an idea. Unless it just fell through the world. Alright, you're still good. Come on, you're still good. Come on, you can do it. Clean up, clean up, clean up. Come on, there you go. Alright, so now let's go back, and what are you? You're oil, you're nothing. Great. Here's a barrel right here. What are the chances it has gas? None. Great, 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 great. Spray, 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 spray. Your spray bottle, you will do fine. Let's pick up our pupper buddy. I am actually very curious as to where our tire went. Hey, we did pass a ship in the middle of the night. Uh-oh, bunnies. 4, 3, 4. There we go. That tire's clean. Tire on rim. Rim. Oh no. We were using white walls. Oh no. I did not even think about that. That's not good. Does this thing have a hubcap? It does. Okay, okay, well, we now have a mismatched tire. Jeebus. Okay, what are the chances there's a white wall laying around here? Come on, we need a white wall. You don't have a white wall, therefore you have no interest. No interest. Big fridge. No white walls. There's a bus tire. Another autosave. Katana, some more spray. Okay, alright, so... Well, that's oil. Nothing in here. Around back, perhaps. No, another bus tire, truck tire. Some spiders. Awesome. So we... Okay, awesome. So a bus spawned in front of us, or a truck. Caused us to lose a tire. And will... Wait, is that it? Is that it? Is that our freaking tire? Is that it? Oh wait, there it is. Hey! We found it. Okay, it was just laying underneath the Van Helsing. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Actually, I think that tire can be cleaned up a little bit. We're already stopped and losing time. We might as well try to fix it. Because it does look like that tire can get a little bit more clean. Surprised we made it this far and I forgot about that. But it does not look as shiny as it could be. Oh, look at that. What do you know? Oh, geez. The physics are not happy. Oh, geez. Come on. I really wish they would fix the whole Fizzlock thing, because this is a bit ridiculous. If I tell the car to have Fizzlock everywhere inside, I expect it to have Fizzlock everywhere inside. But instead, it's just kind of doing whatever it wants, which is in turn causing things like this. This is frustrating. I love this game, but this kind of stuff is very frustrating. Alright, come on, and you're in place. Cool. Alright, so that's closed. We got our headlight. Okay, I think we got everything back. So, poop. Alright, that is clean. We're going to reload this as best we can. There we go. Another autosave. Come on, we need to get out of here. There we go. We've been here for too long, and there are too many bunnies close by. Alright. Look at that, with 6.5 kilometers to go is where that happens. It would. It would happen that way. So it looks like there is another ship up ahead on the horizon. I don't know if the road's going to cooperate and take us that way. It does not. That's fine. That's fine. It's fine. It is what it is. Okay. We'll figure it out. Somewhere along the way, we will figure it out. So we're going to go straight up this hill, which is another bummer to end an episode because we were doing so good. Truck pops in out of nowhere, causes a delay. We're pushing up on 50 minutes now, and we're, woo, picture, rock. And we are 4 kilometers from our 100 kilometers today. So not shabby. We could have done better, but not shabby. I'll watch out for this rock. I'm curious when I go back and look at the footage to see how exactly that bus just pops in. Like when it pops in. That'll be interesting. 2.7 kilometers to go to push 200 kilometers in 2 weeks. Now, for a real day's driving, that is absolutely atrocious. To take 2 weeks to go 200 kilometers. But, considering we only drive 100 kilometers a day, that is not bad at all. Oh, well guys, we're going to start wrapping it up here. So right as we roll into 100, we will probably call it quits. So guys, like I said earlier, I appreciate those of you that hang out with me, that talk to me, that have been watching these, that are excited for us to reach the end of the road, because it is coming up. It'll be here before we know it. 600 and some kilometers to go. I mean, that's just a few more weeks if we can keep this pace of 100 kilometers. So let's see, we started at 920 with a full tank. So we went, say, 37 kilometers. Come on, 37, there it goes, 100, and there we go. So we're going to say 37 kilometers, and we used, 10 liters of fuel. Ooh. But that's good. We're getting further than I thought we were on a tank of gas. So if we got 37 on 10 liters. Well, no, not necessarily. That's actually not great. So 37 at 10. So that's 70. That's 100. And ooh, that's only about 140 kilometers on a full tank. I thought we were getting closer to 225. Yeah, we are not going to have enough gas to make it to the end. Well, that's a bummer. But that's for a future Logan. Guys, we did 100 kilometers. We ran out of gas. We had a bus pop in. We learned we are not going to make it to the end with the fuel we have on board. So that's the thing that we got to deal with. But guys, thank you for watching. I'm Logan. This is The Long Drive. I appreciate you guys so much. And as always, I will catch you next time.